Oh, yeah, we are at Verdict Watch on the Delphi Trial. Welcome to the show. I have several screens lined up in the background so that when the news are out, including on X, we will know if what the verdict will be. And of course, I forgot to close that door. Hold on. So yeah, we are well, the Delphi trial. It has been a month-long trial, and the jury has been has been deliberating for, I believe this is day 4 of deliberations. And about an hour ago, the news came that they were going. There. Sorry. My microphone keeps unplugging itself, so I need to find a new cable for it. Yeah. The jury has announced that they have a verdict, but it has not been published yet. I was told it was being what we see on X and everywhere else, that it would be on the top of the hour. I assumed it was be on the top of the last hour, but apparently it is on top of this hour. So I am currently on checking in on Court TV, who has people inside. So has Law and Crime. So I am checking all of those streams just in case. Just in case. And as of now, Court TV is on break. You have RK Cell's channel, who has been outside all day filming the audience. Law and Crimes, okay, Stephen Donnelly. Law and Crime said the jurors had just left, so they deliberated it, and we sit here very soon. Okay. My personal opinion is hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Statistically, people on trial will be found guilty. And backstory of trial from the okay, the backstory of this is 2017, Abby and Libby disappeared. And search party went out, couldn't find them. Search party restarted the day after. And the girls were found. They were found in a very peculiar way, where they were, according to evidence that has now come out, they were placed in a V shape with the feet closer to each other, and heads apart with a few branches on top of them. And in my opinion, the branches don't fall in that way. Their throats were cut. One was dressed, one was completely nude. The investigators conducted hundreds and hundreds of interviews. And then they lost the first 70 days of interviews, including but not limited to 2 specific people of interest. Now, those 2 specific people of interest is not on trial. No, 5 years later, they arrested a man named Richard Allen for this. And it was a year into his confinement that the prosecution all of a sudden came public. Well, he has now confessed. In this subsequent trial that we have heard reports from lawyer Lee, from Andrea Burkhardt and others, the prosecution's case is not strong at all. At all. For instance, he made 61 confessions while in solitary confinement, while being forcibly fed Haldol. Haldol is an old generation antipsychotic medication. So during these is when he supposedly confessed. There are no recordings of, besides him calling his wife and parents. There are a few, but most of them are through pen and paper via his in-house psychologist. This psychologist, before Mr. Allen was even arrested, she was heavily invested in this case, heavily invested. At the day of his arrest, she joined several Facebook groups and other groups regarding this case. Mr. Allen's confessions didn't start until after he received the discovery. And in all this, for you who don't know, his defense attorneys brought forward a theory that it's not Mr. Allen, it is a local cult, an Odinist cult, that conducted this and named specific people. And reading the Franks memo, a Franks memo is what they have to submit in Indiana in order to be allowed to bring forward a third-party culprit defense. And this was not only denied by Judge Gull. She disqualified the defense attorneys for even bringing it forward. Indiana Supreme Court, that decision was appealed to Indiana Supreme Court, who told, no, you can't do that, Judge Gull. We are reinstating his attorneys. Meanwhile, Judge Gull handpicked Mr. Allen's new defense attorneys. And after the original pair of defense attorneys was brought back, the second set also got behind the Odinist theory as third-party culprit.
It away. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, we are seconds away from finding out the verdict in the Delphi murders case, waiting for our producer, Barbara McDonald, who may be answering some questions right now. Here she is. She's here. You'll watch
And
TV. This is live television.
it seems like Mr. Allen has been found guilty.
We'll get her microphone
on all counts.
And she will deliver this verdict.
Mr. Allen found guilty.
At this moment. She's got to put in her earpiece.
This is a sad day for justice.
She does not even realize that she is on the air right now. She's dialing in. I'm giving you behind the scenes stuff, folks. She's dialing in so she can hear me as we get ready for this verdict to be delivered. The question is, did this jury find Richard Allen responsible for the absolutely
according to Twitter,
brutal murders of these two young girls, best friends who were there for one another?
According to Twitter,
some monster
that he hasn't been found guilty.
Unconscionable. Unconscionable.
This is stock photo. This is not from today. Or is this photo from today?
Are those live pictures? Those are not live pictures we're looking at.
Okay. Those are not live pictures. Well, Nick, do I think he did it? No. There is no, in my opinion, regarding how everything was done, at the very least, for me, it is not guilty is the correct, would have been the correct verdict. Not guilty would have been the correct verdict, simply because there isn't enough evidence. Now they have the confession. I don't buy that confession. I really don't. Not under. He was in solitary confinement for 13 months. He was force-fed Haldol, an old generation antipsychotic drug. Okay, let's see.
Missed by this jury. The defense did ask to have the jury polled. They all affirmed that that was, in fact, their verdict. Guilty of 4 counts of murder, 2 counts of felony murder against Abigail Williams and Liberty German, 2 counts of intentional murder against Abby.
So there it is, found guilty. And what's going to happen now? Mr. Allen will be back to prison. What will happen now is that the jurors will come out. They will check, okay, what's actually been going on, and they will find out that Judge Gull actively not only put her thumb on the scale, she actively helped the prosecution to get a verdict. She is, in my opinion, complicit in his 13-month solitary confinement incarceration. So I hope the jurors will find out. I hope the jurors will be as shocked as the rest of us are, or at least most of us are, regarding what information was actually out there. How much information Judge Gull hindered from entering entering as evidence. Mr. Allen, in my opinion, was railroaded completely. The state wanted someone. They got someone. In his second police interview, Mr. Allen told Jerry Holeman, the main investigator, "You can't make me confess to something I didn't do." Jerry Holeman saw that as a challenge, and they made everything they could to bring out those confessions, and they succeeded. And now Mr. Allen, for now, is convicted of double murder. The appeal, I will say, and this I've heard from so many other sources, US-based attorneys, locally based attorneys, if there's any case that will not survive an appeal, it's this one. The best, in their opinion, the prosecution can hope for is that it's not being overturned completely, but that it is overturned for a new trial. This Mr. Allen was physically and mentally tortured for 13 months leading up to this scam of a trial. 13 months. And I need some time to digest this. You know, as I said, you hope for the best, you have to prepare for the worst, and this is the worst. For Mr. Allen, for his family, for the victims and the victims' families, this was the worst. This is the worst case scenario for everyone. Mr. Allen simply was at the trail, as hundreds others were during that day, at a time that might have been when the girls were abducted and killed. He called in the tip himself. Yes, I was there at roughly that time. I went up to the first platform, looked at the fish, went home. And that call in is why he's now in prison, convicted. That one call. Brad Weber, we know Brad Weber is the one who testified in court about driving his white van back from work. And that might have been the one that startled Mr. Allen. And I will say to everyone who listens that Brad Weber is a fucking liar. I checked as much as I could that it is, according to Google Maps, a 30-minute drive from his work to his home. 30 minutes. He clocked out at 2:02 p.m. Clocked out. The clock out station is inside the Subaru plant. Inside the Subaru plant. You clock out in work gear. You're not allowed to clock out in civilian gear. So he clocks out. He has to go to the dressing room, change into civilian clothing, walk out, get to his car, sit down, drive off. If he ran all the way, he might have done it in 5 minutes. So that is 2:07 p.m. A 30-minute drive, depending on traffic, plus minus 3 minutes. That makes him at the absolute earliest at 2:34 p.m. That is 2 minutes after the phone stopped showing movement 2 minutes after. In order for him to have driven there and startled Mr. Allen, as the claim was from the prosecution, you have to go back from 2:32. Okay, 2:32 is where, boom, everything ended, movement and everything. The startlement must have happened before then, with the ending of both girls. They had to bleed out, moved to their final resting place, positioned the way they were, sticks placed upon them, and the phone positioned. We are talking about 5, 6, maybe up to 10 minutes. At the very least, there's an 8-minute gap. And I still say that Brad Weber is probably lying about driving his van that day. In his first interview, just a few days after the murders, he claimed to the investigators that he did not drive home. He drove to take care of his of the ATMs. He was an ATM serviceman. And all of a sudden, when it suited the prosecution, he changed his story. So yeah, the conclusion of this is, even if you know something, don't talk to the police, talk to a lawyer. You might be railroaded as a convenient person of interest. Even though there were plenty of other people in that area, living in that area, who had, well, simply, in my opinion, were stronger evidence against. But here we are. Yeah, I need some time to digest this. Nitabita, honestly, being from Indiana, the sheriff department was probably completely inept in investigating this case. There's no way they handled anything properly. I agree. Nicola Maxwell, member for 3 months. I'm so sad today. This has been awful. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. And Jersey Jan became a new member. I don't have much to add as of now. I need to digest it. And then I need to, well, I hope I really hope one or a few of the jurors sits down for an interview with some of the major newspapers and stuff, so we learn how they actually, so we learn what they actually thought was the evidence that put this man away for life. Okay. Yeah, it's a sad day for justice. It's a sad day for everybody involved. It's a sad day. But you can be sure that the prosecution and the investigators will go out, yes, we did it. And yeah, you did. You made all of this happen. You bastardized the evidence. You bastardized the witness testimony. You lost evidence. And together with Judge Gull, you made sure to railroad a probably innocent person. Tomorrow, YSL trial continues. If I haven't decided to put something up before then, I will see you back here tomorrow. I'm sending you over to a lawyer you know who is live now. All right. See you. Bye-bye.